Hello and welcome to Stampscapes 101. This is a follow-up to the video from last night, the live stream version of this holographic fire lookout. But what I wanted to show was that I have now spray sealed this holographic cardstock with the triple thick crystal clear glaze, glossy from Kryon. I don't even know if this comes in a matte, probably not as far as the triple thick goes, but it's a clear acrylic spray and it has locked down the water-based, quick-drying Brilliance white and black pigment inks, okay? So on the holographic cardstocks, these types of inks will dry, but they won't adhere, okay? So it's not like a Brilliance ink on a printable vinyl sticker paper or something like that. You know, holographic cardstock is more of like a sealed foil. All right, but the fact that these inks won't dry quickly on this type of cardstock allows us to do these types of streaks here, reminiscent in this case of your Northern Lights type of thing. But even when these inks are dry on top of it, before sealing, you can run your finger right over it and that ink will rub right off, okay? So it makes it kind of an interesting surface to work with in that we're kind of always dealing with wet inks. You have to kind of get a little bit of a, I don't know, feel of it. You know, if you do like 2 or 3 of these, you'll really get a hold of it. But you have to get used to kind of handling the card. You know, you just put your finger like this and lift off, and you've removed the ink of it. You know, when it's wet. So I have sprayed this with a pretty decent coat. I tend to work in bursts. You know, typical. Strategy with spray paints, something like that. You do the same thing. You work in from distance and you give it quick bursts, or you do a pass by type of thing to give it a quick coating. You allow it to dry a little bit and then hit it again. On this one right here, most of the inks are on the perimeter like this, okay? So I'm, working on the outside edge like this, doing passes, okay? And then where the inks are a little bit thicker in the 4 corners, I'm hitting it in bursts in those areas just to really get a pretty decent coating. My first pass of this, after I let it dry, I realized, oh, I didn't hit enough of it down here. So when I touched it like this, ink was still coming off. So I hit it again with a light, even spray, and that took care of it. So this is all good right now. Or it should be. Yeah, looks like it's I gave it an adequate coating. And you can still see the holographic patterning of this paper hasn't really been affected. Sometimes you spray it with these types of sprays and it gives it a little bit more of a satiny type of feel than maybe a glossy. That it looks like inherently, because you're laying down in many cases, especially when you're hitting it from distance, these little microscopic beads of acrylic that lay down on the surface, and you keep piling them up on top of one another. It's not like you're laying down some kind of absolutely smooth slathering of it. I mean, sometimes you can if you give it a really thick coating, but I wouldn't recommend that because it'd be prone to drips or something like this. Little tips, is to do this. Ideally, if you want it to dry really fast, do it during the daytime when it's nice and warmer and drier. But sometimes when you hit it at nighttime and you do it nice and flat like this, it doesn't dry so fast. And sometimes it gives it a little bit more of an even coverage, I believe. And before it kind of sets up really fast, I think it has a little bit more time to spread out and merge with those other microscopic beads. I'm talking like probably microseconds or something like that, but sometimes that helps. You can, do some kind of experiments for yourself. But anyways, we have a pretty dynamic surface to work with, and, it just requires the spraying of your acrylic spray. It doesn't have to be the triple thick. It could be the UV resistant clear, Kryon crystal clear. There's all kinds of other sealants I probably, when it comes to a glossy surface like this one or a glossier one, I would probably stick with the gloss as opposed to a matte, because it would change the character of it, unless you want to change the character of it. So something like a workable fixative is meant to have a decent amount of texture to it so you can apply more dry media to it too. So that'll work in sealing, but it will give a flatter look to, kind of an inherently, glossier type of surface on here. So just a simple matte with a little base of white paper, and then I gave it this, I don't know, maybe what is that? Maybe a 1/2 inch or a little bit more than an inch border here with the glossy. It's a really dark blue, but you can get a black or something like that, and I thought that made for a decent presentation of this piece. I'm still thinking about putting some kind of word stamp up here and putting it right over the top of it or something like that. Not stamping directly on here, but I don't know, still deciding. But anyway, hope you can see those little crystals that have been laid down on there as well. But anyways, fun stuff working on this type of paper. I'd really recommend giving it a go. You can really find holographic cardstocks just about anywhere. Michaels has it in the Recollections packs. This one was the Kromekote, a little bit more vibrant and I don't know, kind of vivid in terms of the color patterning to it, but I really love the Recollections one as well. I'm trying to get this to show some of those kind of interesting colors. Sometimes at different angles, you get those different color patterns. Okay, so anyways, if you have any questions, drop me a note in the comments section. Hope you like, share, and subscribe. And hope you give this type of paper a try. Remember, it's going to be a little bit weird at first. Don't go like stamp it and say, oh my God, I can't hate it. I've been working with this 10 seconds and it's not coming out perfect or anything like that. You got to get a little bit of a feel for it. So do a little tests on a piece of scrap, test it out, stamp it, get the impression quality down, get the feel of how long you should stamp it for. But again, just work with the types of inks that are compatible with it. I'd recommend the Brilliance, or if you want to just go for the impressions themselves and not do a lot of blending like that, you can just stamp right on top of it with the StazOn. One thing about the StazOn, really allow it to dry, and you don't have to spray seal it, okay? You can, but don't use a thick spray sealant, because solvent inks plus the binder in these types of paint cans could get the solvent ink to run. So, but like I said, if you're just making impressions just straight with StazOn on here, you don't have to seal it. Okay, so anyways, thanks again for watching, and happy stamping.